Good evening, we're live from Merchiston. I'm Callum Muldoon.
And I'm Kyle Campbell, and you're watching The Buzz.
On the menu for tonight, from whiskey tasting to mocktail making,
Vegan Fest to Fashion Quest, we've got The Buzz, and just by watching, you have passed the taste test.
I visited one of Edinburgh's whiskey bars to learn more about our very own national drink.
It's the game that produced Neymar, Pele, Zico and Ronaldinho. Could futsal create a football superstar for Scotland?
And for an energy boost, we will be looking at the sustainability of veganism by scoffing some sausage rolls. As we're officially live, I think we should have a drink to celebrate.
What do you fancy? Beer? Cocktails?
Well, as Whiskey Month is just days away, it's a good excuse to have a taste of one of Scotland's largest exports. May 1st marks the start of Whiskey Month, a month dedicated to one of Scotland's largest exports. I'm here at the Toll House to drink some whiskey with Lewis Kirkhope, and we're going to be enjoying the Water of Life by the Water of Leith. Lewis is a bartender at the Bon Vivant, and he told me why whiskey is so popular in Scotland on the way to the Toll House.
I think it just goes back to mainly the heritage part. You know, obviously barley and wheat are very, very cheap to make, so Scottish farmers could very, very easily crop large fields and produce this spirit that they could then go on and sell, which is, you know, still to this day, Scotland is one of its biggest exports is whiskey.
Whiskey Month started back in 2012 to celebrate Scotland's national drink and to acknowledge its origins. It is rumoured that in the early 15th century, missionary monks travelling between Scotland, Ireland and mainland Europe brought whiskey distilling methods to the Scots and helped them produce it en masse. Lewis and I decided to taste some whiskey and to see what's come about in the centuries following this revelation.
So over here we have a Johnnie Walker Black. This is a blended whiskey. So blended whiskey is pretty much what it sounds like. It is a blend of different types of whiskies. So this one is a Highland Park 12. Okay. So Highland Park is another single malt. However, Highland Park I think is a really, really good example of what whiskey can be. It's incredibly sweet. It's incredibly vanilla.
What's this one?
One of our centre is our Open 14. This is like a constant one I'm grabbing for in the back bar. I think it's like a really nice, delicate bit of whiskey. I think it's got a nice, even balance to it. It's got a little tiny bit of peated smokiness to it, but at the same time, you're still getting all those vanilla and caramel notes that come from aging in barrels.
Whiskey Month is coming up at the start of May. What do you think this does for the Scottish whiskey scene and just the Scottish culture as a whole?
Honestly, Whiskey Month is just a really good excuse to go to some cool funky bars and try some good drams, man. Like every single year, every single month, you always get some really cool unique bars that come out. Tons of bars in Edinburgh and all over Glasgow and the whole of Scotland have these incredible balls.
Lewis and I have had a great time at the Toll House tasting a few different whiskies, so now it's time to relax and enjoy a few. This May, get yourself down to your nearest whiskey bar and enjoy yourself a couple of drams. Sláinte mhath.
I'll toast to that, even if I'm not a whiskey man myself. If you're not a drinker, there are plenty of non-alcoholic options on our menu. Callum has been joined in the Buzz Bar by a special guest to try his hand at some mocktail making.
Thank you, Cal. Yes, I'm joined by Becca Austin from Chaya Praia, Edinburgh on Castle Street. Becca, how excited are you to be in the Buzz Bar today? I'm
so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So, we're going to be making some mocktails, and I believe you're going to be showing me how to make, was it a virgin porn star martini?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so let's get started. So, what do we start with?
So, we'll start with our shaker. We'll fill it up with ice just so we don't have to do it at the end.
All right. All right, I'll fill mine up. Yep, that'll do. There we go.
And then we'll swap back.
Okay.
This is just pineapple juice, and that'll be the main base of our drink here. So if you just fill that up with 75 mils.
75, okay. Yeah. So we're just gonna do it in there.
You just need it so you get that fake look on the foam for the top.
There we are. So that's 75 there.
So next is our lemon. We'll just put 20 ml of lemon in.
Okay. Make sure that's lemon. Oh, there we are. Wonderful.
And I'll just prepare a shot for you.
That's fine.
So it's just lemonade.
Wonderful. Oh, God. There we are. So that's 20 mils of lemon. Oh, a shot of lemonade there.
Shot of lemonade for the end.
Side. So, and then is that good to shake?
We just need a little bit of gammon first, just to give it
wonderful.
that sweetness.
So that's sugar syrup, is it?
Yes, it's sugar syrup.
Yes. So about how much?
15. 15. Very precise, I'm sorry.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There it goes. And then all good to shake?
Yep, so if you just get the lid of your shaker.
I'm very excited for this. Make sure I've got it all sorted. Oh! No. Flying off. There we go. Ugh. Right.
And I'll just finish this. And shake it for about 12 seconds.
12 seconds, okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, just give it a good hard shake.
Okay. Beautiful.
And I'll give you
Which one should we go for? That one?
that glass, yeah.
We fancy one. Okay. And then, so do I just pour it in or do I use the...
So if you want to strain it, if you take the top off, just because
Yeah.
of the pineapple juice,
Okay.
and use this strainer
Yes.
and double strain shaken cocktails so you don't get any bits of ice
Okay.
in it.
So you just use one of these?
Yep,
Yes.
it's just that over
And
there.
into that.
Yeah,
There we are. Look at that.
perfect.
That looks unreal. There we go.
And then you've got your fake shot of Prosecco on the side, which is your lemonade.
Amazing. Now, do you want to have a taste of it first? See how I've done?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah, do you want to...
Come on. Let's have a taste.
It tastes just like what I make at work, to be honest.
It's quite good, actually. God. I'm not much of a porn star martini man myself, but it's quite good. It's quite good.
It's got that sweetness, but not too overpowering.
Yeah. All right. So, well, thank you so much, Becca, for coming along, and I'm so glad to know how to make a mocktail like this. And yeah, so once again, thank you.
No worries, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll go back to you, Kyle, in the studio.
Well, Callum's sorted the drinks for our big night out, so now it's my turn to sort the clobber. I've been joined here in the studio by fashion journalist Jessica Stark, who's going to help me pick out the best vintage outfit from our Buzz boutique. Jess, thank you very much for joining us in the studio today. I just wanted to start off by talking about vintage clothing and how it can actually help with sustainability and the sort of fast fashion trends we're seeing these days. What sort of benefits can vintage clothing have on the environment?
Of course. You know, it reduces the air miles, you've got all these sweatshops as well, and it's just minimising the use of that. So when you go into vintage shops or even just parents or grandparents or friends that can pass down clothes to you, that's just such an easy way of kind of getting some quirky textured pieces. And
Absolutely. Well, we do have our very own Buzz boutique here,
Yeah.
and it is filled with some vintage clothing items.
Lovely.
So I thought it'd be a good idea if you could sort of help us style an outfit for a night out and sort of make use of the vintage clothing that we have. So let's have a wee look here. Let's start off with, how about this snazzy shirt here?
Ooh.
What do we make of this, Jess, do you think?
I like
this
it.
is doable for a wee night out?
It is, it's fun, it's colourful, it's got texture, it's got pattern, and that's kind of what we see in vintage clothes these days, especially in vintage shops, and it's perfect just even with a basic outfit on top. You could wear it to the park, you could wear it on a night out, you could wear it to the beach. Versatile, fun, I like it.
It's got such sort of different benefits. You can wear it on so many different occasions, can't you?
Yeah,
So,
completely.
okay, we have our shirt sorted. Now, if we wanted to pair this up, how about some vintage blue jeans? Oh, there we are. Blue jeans still in fashion. These do okay?
Oh yeah, they come back around continually, and these are a perfect pair. They're a good colour, they're a nice light wash, they'll go with everything. You know, you can roll them up or down. The trend these days is to kind of roll them up with white socks. But yeah, no, they're a versatile piece, great staple for the wardrobe, and you can find them in any vintage shop.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure your parents will pass down.
They really give that sort of 80s vibe to them.
They
don't
really do. They
Now,
really do.
Of course, we live in Scotland, so when you're coming home from a night out, you're going to be a little bit chilly. You're going to need something on top of you. So if we wanted to pick a wee jacket out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what you think about my colour sense, Jess, but
I think that's a good choice.
how about this navy jacket for
I
the
like
shirt?
it. I like it. I think it ties in well with the blue. It's classic. You've got the kind of funky character shirt going on underneath. So this jacket is a perfect staple for a night out. And in the fashion world, you know, to elevate an outfit and just make it look a little bit more put together, we tend to add just jackets or layering or scarves or accessories. So yeah, no, I like it.
Of course. Well, we do have all these items.
Speaking of accessories, actually, I think the one thing that might elevate this whole outfit is I see a vintage hat over there.
We have a vintage hat here.
I like it.
So where's this coming from? This is a 90s hat here?
It's given farmer chic.
Yeah.
If
Is that
I
in
can-
fashion
if I
these
can
days?
say
Can we
that.
still...
Oh yeah, if you
Yeah?
want it to be.
Absolutely. Well, I do think I'm going to have to go out this weekend because I've got the perfect outfit. I'm going to have to receive the compliments for it. But thank you very much for joining us in the studio, Jess.
Thank you.
We do really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, our night out is shaping up to be a good one. We've got the drinks, we now have the clothes. But at the end of the night, you always want some scran. Well, ditch your doner, because a new way of eating is on the rise, veganism. With the Vegan Festival taking place this month, our reporter Angus McGregor decided to check out this new lifestyle for himself and explore what it's doing for both our health and the environment.
With the cost of living and the climate crisis, people are looking for new ways to get by. One of the sustainable options is veganism. So we came down here to the Corn Exchange, the O2 Academy in Edinburgh to find the ins and outs of veganism. The Scottish Vegan Festival is an annual event showcasing food and drink as well as eco-friendly health practices. One of the main features of the event this year was sustainability. What makes your oat's milk so sustainable in comparison to others?
Well, first of all, oats need a lot of water to grow, and we're in Scotland where it rains all the time, so very sustainable in that regard. Things like almond milk, they require tons of water, but almonds grow in the desert, so that's not a sustainable kind of product. Same with things like coconut milk.
As well as trying sustainable food and drink options, we wanted to explore the main reasons why festival goers chose the vegan life and what awareness they wanted the event to spread.
Oh, I don't see the point in breeding animals to kill them. It just seems morally corrupt.
Hopefully these kinds of things will raise awareness and show that it's just a different way of life, and it's not something that excludes you from anything. It opens up new doors.
Just the animal rights side of it, environment secondary.
And is animal rights the most kind of stuff you were looking to see here at the festival today?
No, I came for the cakes.
The event highlighted many ways in which we can all help make a difference, from big businesses to farming to even at school and university level.
Yeah, so UCL have had big successes with, I think they have default plant milk in their canteens. Obviously Stirling University, they're going 100% plant-based next year, well, the student union is. And Cambridge University last week has just passed a motion that's working towards a plant-based sort of catering system and menus as well.
Our time learning about all things vegan had built up a hunger, leaving one last thing for us to do before heading on home. We've had a great day here at the Vegan Festival at the Corn Exchange. We've learned a lot and I've got some things to ponder. Until then, let's enjoy some of the food.
Now we've welcomed Callum back into the studio, and I don't know what you think about that, but I thought some of the food looked absolutely delicious. I wish we could have tasted some of it.
Well, thank you, Cal. Well, luckily for us, the Buzz crew have kindly gone out and brought us back a few samples for us to try. But there is a twist.
What's the twist?
We do not know whether the samples are vegan or not before tasting it. Will the vegan alternatives reign supreme, or will the originals prove just too good to turn down? Beautiful. So we have our 3 plates here, and we've got 3 different sausage rolls, and we have to try and guess if it's vegan or it has meat in it. And under each plate, it'll say meat or vegan. And of course, our plates say, "Please recycle me," because we're sustainable on this show.
Okay.
Fantastic. So should we start with this one?
Go for plate 1.
Beautiful.
Is that what we try?
Lovely.
Cheers. Okay, straight thoughts from that one. I think that is a meat sausage roll. Obviously, I don't know what the next 2 are tasting like yet. First impression, I think that might be meat. What do you think?
Well, I was along the same lines, and I'm a bit of a sausage roll connoisseur when it comes to my times going to Greg's, like in uni. So I think this is the vegan one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to say vegan. So
Right. I've said meat. Callum has said vegan. We'll have a wee look here.
Beautiful.
Oh, and there we are. It's a vegan sausage roll, the first one.
What can I say? I just know my sausage rolls.
I didn't get the vegan taste from that one,
No.
but there we are. Okay.
Beautiful.
Plate 2.
Yeah, let's have a shot.
Let's go on to it.
Beautiful.
Cheers. Okay. Now, I might have been thrown off with the first one. That's definitely meat. It has to be. It tastes so much like meat.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that. I was going along that, but for the sake of differences, for everything else, I'm going to say it's vegan. For
You think
this
it's a
one.
vegan one?
Yeah, let's give it a
Okay,
shot.
so I've picked meat for this one. Callum is taking vegan. Let's have a wee look.
All right.
Oh, and there we are. I've levelled the game up.
Oh, it's a close one. It's a close one.
That was a meat sausage roll. I could tell from the first taste, I think. I think I knew.
Yeah.
So there we are. We're 1-1 heading into the final plate.
Game of the century.
Let's have a wee look. Last one.
Let's have a taste.
Cheers. Okay. Final plate. What do you reckon?
Well, my flavors are getting mixed up. I'm really getting a bit confused here because I've had a meat one, had a vegan one, and the flavors kind of mixing.
Yep.
I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say it was very similar to the first one. I'm going to say it is vegan.
I'm on an opposite feeling on you. I thought
Really?
it was similar to the second one. So I think it is a meat sausage roll. We'll find out.
Let's find out.
We'll find out who the winner of our vegan taste test is. And there we are. Callum has won it. It is a vegan sausage roll on plate 3 as well.
Knee sliding in the studio.
I'll tell you though,
Too
they
good.
were very similar. Very difficult to sort of tell. I think it does sort of show the quality.
Well,
of
that's
the
it.
vegan
Like,
products.
the fact that we're getting mixed up like this just shows that, it's really coming a long way.
It really has. It was
Yeah.
very difficult to tell.
Exactly. Now, after all that food, we're going to have to find a way to burn off all those calories.
Well, how do you fancy learning about an up-and-coming sport in Edinburgh?
Sounds like fun.
Well, we have had a wee look at futsal for our sport. It is an up-and-coming sport that's growing rapidly amongst the younger generation. Futsal helps to develop your first touch and your teamwork. It is reported that there are over 10,000 players in the UK alone. The Buzz was lucky enough to be invited along to the home of Edinburgh Napier's futsal team to join in with one of their training sessions, learn about the sport and get some first-hand experience. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I thought I heard the studs on the ground there, lads. You won't be needing those boots. This isn't football. This is futsal.
What? Futsal?
Never heard of it.
In its most basic terms, futsal is an indoor version of the world's most popular sport, football, and closely shares its DNA with the five-a-side game that many are familiar with. Now the main difference actually lies within the ball. A typical size 5 FIFA ball is 28 inches in circumference. That's very different to the typical 25 circumference futsal ball that is used at professional level. Now it's all good standing here talking about futsal, but we wanted to get some first-hand experience. So I'm here at Engage, the home of the Edinburgh Napier futsal team. They've kindly let me join in with their training session tonight. However, we've encountered a small problem with that. So we've drafted in producer Tommy and live producer Callum, who are going to fill my boots. Tommy, how are we feeling about trying out futsal for the first time?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. Concerns about the fitness, concerns about the mobility, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Expecting some goals?
Oof, I don't know. I was a defender when I played football, but I might go up front today, try something different,
Nice to meet you.
Tommy just missing a good chance there. When the ball goes out, it's back in play a lot quicker. Not much waiting around, and that's because the timer actually stops when the ball goes out of play. Brilliant assist by Tommy there. After the Buzz Boys' short cameo, it was clear there was a lot to work on in terms of fitness and skill. We heard their thoughts on their first futsal experience. Guys, how did we find that?
Shattering. It was pretty fast paced. We were only playing for like 10 minutes, and just proved how unfit I am. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I struggled a bit. It was quite hard, like, if you've not played it before, to know the runs to make and stuff, because it's very small, it's very condensed.
We've heard from the rookies, so now it's time to catch up with experienced players Max and Javi.
I played in the team of my city back in Barcelona or in Sabadell, and I just played as a goalkeeper all the time, and I just keep growing with that. And when I came here, I just found that there was no team here, so I just created this one.
Yeah, like health-wise or mental-wise, it's so good to have a couple of hours just to play and enjoy with the people.
Now, I'm no expert on futsal, but we do have somebody back in the studio who is, so let's get back there.
Now we've heard from Javi and Max, but we can also hear from the team captain, Daniel Hamilton.
Daniel, thank you very much for joining us in the studio today. Really do appreciate it. How did our lads get on at the training session a few weeks ago?
Yeah, not too bad at all, actually. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, they got stuck in, got involved, and actually put in a good shift at the end of the game. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, amazing. So, about you, how did you get involved in futsal?
So, I think I was actually procrastinating studying sometime last year and just sort of flicking through the Napier website, and I found futsal that I hadn't seen before. And sort of growing up, you're always sort of aware of, growing up being interested in football, you're always sort of aware of futsal sort of existing, and I thought, you know what, I need to give that a go. So I went along, met a nice group of lads, it was good fun, and yeah, just sort of stuck with it.
Obviously, you've been playing for a few years now. What sort of physical and mental benefits have you actually found whilst playing futsal?
You're definitely improving your mental ability whilst also improving your technical ability. You're learning sort of off-the-ball movement, you're thinking all the time, and you need that sort of perfect first touch in futsal, because it's such a small court. If you don't have a good first touch, you're done, that's it, you know. It's really sort of high pressure, high stakes when you play.
Now, since you started playing, how much have you seen the sport grow?
I would say it's always been growing. I think it can only go up. It's a sort of up-and-coming sport. You know, there's no reason why we can't have more futsal teams in Scotland. There's a few leagues established. There's a league in Edinburgh, there's one in Dundee, and there's one in Aberdeen. But I mean, the reason it's so popular in places like Spain, you see it's because it's too hot, so they play indoors. We could do sort of the opposite here in Scotland. It's too cold, it's too wet, it's too windy. Let's play indoors. There's definitely a lot of room for it to grow.
Absolutely. And if there was players around Edinburgh and Dundee and Aberdeen, as you say, wanting to get involved in futsal, would they just have a wee look online in their local universities where they have teams that they can join in?
Yeah, I think most unis now have a team in Scotland, which is good. That's not what it used to be. You know, there's more teams that are popping up here, there, and everywhere. And yeah, these sort of major cities do have leagues now. So have a look online. If you're at Napier, come to our trials in September. So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, Daniel, thank you very much for joining us. We do really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I think we have run out of segues.
Do you think we have?
I think so, but no fear. I mean, unless you can think of one right now.
I can't, no.
Oh, never mind. Well, since we're approaching the end of the show, I think we should have a very special thing for us. We have a very talented artist joining us today, performing Ghost song, It's Moon Matter.
That was Moon Matter with a Ghost Song.
That was just great, wasn't it?
It really was. Now, from one group of talented Napier musicians to one of our very own, this is Vlad, and he's here to talk to us about busking culture. Vlad,
Hi,
thank
guys.
you very much for joining us in the studio today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we wanted to just sort of talk about busking and sort of how it's been going at the minute. How did you get into busking in the first place?
I think I was 17 when I went first time on the street to play, and that was back in Poland over 20 years ago. And actually, I didn't want to go to normal work, and I didn't want to go to school, so I have to do something. And I found out then it was really a good way to earn money, and it allows you to traveling for free.
Yeah. So, what have the challenges been of busking in the modern era?
I think one of the biggest challenges is the digitalization of the world.
Yeah.
So the buskers, they usually live from the change. People live coins, sometimes banknotes, but these days nobody use paper money pretty much. So some of the buskers they got like QR codes. Some of them they got even terminals where you can just put the card and you can give the tip. Yeah, so I think it's harder than it was, and same people they don't appreciate anymore so much because you got access to the Beatles, to the Rolling Stones on your phone. So why would you listen to some busker?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how would you sort of see the differences are between busking in Edinburgh and across the UK compared to maybe cities in Europe?
I think because Great Britain has got such a good and great history of music. Led Zeppelin, one of the bands, the Beatles. I mean, it's all classics. So people love music on this island. Like you got so many open mics and events, and so I mean, it's very easy in the terms. Then nobody bothers you. You don't need any permissions and things like that. Which when you're going to Europe, the police can be very harsh.
Yeah.
Opposed to you, and yeah, it's weird because you don't do anything wrong, and if people appreciate it, I don't see the reason why somebody should bother you.
Yeah. So is there any particular time in the year that's best for busking?
Lots of people think it's a fringe time, but actually because of the saturation of the buskers, it's not. You don't have space to play. It's too many people playing, too many people doing the acts, which is good for a tourist, but it's not particularly it's not good for a buskers. So for me, the best time it's a spring when people just hanging around. They start going out and enjoy the nature, and same late autumn, and in a summertime. I think in Edinburgh it's such a beautiful street, and you don't have to actually busk. You can go on a beach.
Beautiful.
Instead.
Well, thank you for coming in to speak to us, Vlad. Sadly, that's all we have time for on this edition of The Buzz.
Join us next week as we look at the hottest fashion trends ahead of the summer months.
And we'll also be meeting the social media star making their big screen debut in June.
That sounds fantastic. Already cannot wait for next week's show.
Oh, it's sure to be a good one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Buzz.
Bye.